The only way to hyper train or change your Pokemon stats in Pokemon Go is going to be through the brand new item, Bottle Caps, for $20. So what is hyper training in Pokemon Go? What even is training in Pokemon Go? Training in Pokemon Go, I believe, is when you just get a bunch of candy, XL candy, Stardust, you clump it up and you shove it into your Pokemon's face until its CP gets higher. And even though that increases the CP of the Pokemon, the stats like the attack, the HP, and the defense, those do not get higher unless you hyper train your Pokemon, and that is what hyper training is. Bottle Caps are going to be coming to Pokemon Go like next week. It's going to be for the Ancient. It's going to be for the Ancient Discover event. Ancient Discovered for $20. Ancients Recovered event, which is going to be a little less than a week from now, unless you're watching this after July 1st, which means it's already happened. But there will be more bottle caps in the future for $20. Now, in order to receive this golden bottle cap, you will have to buy the Deluxe Go Pass for $20, which is going to start on June 23rd, and it's going to be only usable until June 29th. So you're going to have only that week. I think that's a week. June 23rd plus 7 is June 30th, right? And then there's no 31st in June, so it's July. Yeah, so it's like a week. What was I talking about? Anyways, this bottle cap that you can get for $20 through the paid battle pass that starts next week is going to be limited. You can't stockpile multiple bottle caps like you can the Master Balls. You're going to have to use it on a Pokemon to hyper train their stats in the time frame of June 23rd to July 1st for $20. Now, once you choose your buddy Pokemon that you want to use this bottle cap on, you will have 365 days to then hyper train that Pokemon and get it from 0 to 100 real quick. The information on the speed of how long it'll take to upgrade these stats is not quite yet known yet, although we do know that there are going to be certain tasks to train certain IV stats. For example, if you wanted to increase your attack stat, you would want to have your buddy, aka your trainee, as your buddy, and you would do quests that involve battling alongside your buddy. I can only imagine that means having your trainee as your buddy and fighting raids with it, doing Team Rocket grunts, or battling in PvP, and hopefully being successful there. It's not easy. If you want to increase your defense stat, you would need to strengthen your bond with your Pokemon by exploring, playing with your Pokemon, and catching Pokemon. So I imagine that means gathering KMs while walking around, going into the AR and just, there. Look at that, your defense is better. So playing with your Pokemon and catching Pokemon, and I imagine exploring KMs will get you the defense stat. And lastly, to increase the HP stat, you would want to explore with your buddy Pokemon, which sounds a little confusing because exploring with the defense one was also added in that description, but the description we've got for exploring for the HP stat is spinning Pokestops, getting buddy candy, so that's going to be kind of like walking KMs, which I imagine for the defense. Whatever, get buddy candy, spin Pokestops, maybe new Pokestops, and also other adventures. Non-explained. I don't know what these other adventures are, but... Now, the cool thing is, every single Pokemon in Pokemon Go is eligible to be hyper trained, except for Shadow Pokemon. Those guys can keep suffering. Are they in pain? Do they need rescuing? Don't matter. Not using bottle caps on them. Now, even though every Pokemon is eligible for hyper training, except for Shadow Pokemon, there is a requirement to begin the hyper training. You have to select a trainee, and that trainee has to be a good buddy or better. Which means you should probably start thinking about which one you want to hyper train and make it your buddy and get that to good buddies as soon as possible. Why did I take this Lunatone out of my pocket? Was this supposed to be my good buddy? Yeah, this guy's good buddy. This one here, good buddy. This one's best buddy. Okay, this one's best buddy. That is an official Pokemon product, by the way. I didn't just get that on some weird website. Once you unlock this item, make sure you put your bottle cap on your good buddy because it will expire on July 6th, 2025. Once you use it, you have an entire 365 days to hyper train your guy. So just put it on there. You don't want to be caught slipping. I've been caught slipping. I've missed a lot of researches that I thought I had more time for, and then all of a sudden the day passes and you're like, wait, what? I didn't. So now that we understand what a golden bottle cap is, what it does, how we use it, and when to use it, let's talk about who we use it on. And that is the whole purpose of this video right here, is to have you guys just take a second and think about the ramifications of using this limited time item. No regrets. So, I know what you're thinking. I want a Shundo Rayquaza. I want a Shundo Zacian with a background. I want a Shundo Zamazenta with a background. I want a Shundo White Kyurem fused. I want a Shundo Necrozma fused with a moon type monster. But I'm here to tell you, don't do it. Do not don't use your bottle cap on one of those legendaries that can come back in raids at any moment. Think about it, man. And if you disagree with me and don't care about my opinion at all, type "shut up" in the comments. That's SHADDAP. Tell me "shut up" in the comments. But let me just run through the logic for you right now. We've been getting a whole bunch of new items that can help us get to 100% IV Pokemon. We've been getting lucky trinkets, so you don't even have to be best friends with somebody or even like get to that level. And there's only so many legendaries that we've been seeing returns of them time and time again. So eventually you can get the Shundos of these legendaries. Even though it could take a while, you still have the opportunity to do a random lucky trade and have that moment of, oh my gosh, I got it. Like with my Lunatone, the Shundo actually happened after it was like 76 lucky trades. That's a lot. Don't get me wrong. The odds are high, but eventually I got it. And that's crazy. That could happen again. I've seen a lot of people at Go Fest get lucky with their lucky trades with background Shundos as well. So that's where I'm kind of like, we play this game all the time. These raids come back. Right now, Kyogre is happening. So that's my thought process, is you don't want to use it on something that you can potentially get lucky and get. Like right now, Kyogre and Groudon are back, right? I've raided Kyogre 1,000 times, like a couple years ago when the Primals came out. Do I have a Shundo of those? No, but I'm not like actively trying to like, oh, I gotta get a Shundo Kyogre. So for me, it would kill me if I used my bottle cap on like a Shundo Rayquaza, right? It's like, here we go, Rayquaza it is. And then Rayquaza comes back like in 2 months because it's like, you know, next year is going to be the 10-year Pokemon Go anniversary. It's going to be a crazy thing. Who knows what's going to happen? And it's like, boom, there we go. Shundo Rayquaza. It took me like 5 months or however long it's going to take to hyper train these guys. It's all well and good. My Shundo's here, and then Rayquaza comes back, right? And there I am just sitting like a jerk at Dunkin' Donuts with some friends, and we're like, hey, we're on top of a Rayquaza raid. You want to just handle this Rayquaza? I'm like, sure, you know, I could use some more candies and flex mine. And then I do that, and all of a sudden, bam, I got a Shundo Rayquaza right there. I wouldn't be mad about it. Obviously, it's cool to have 2 Shundos, but you know, it's like I used my bottle cap on that one. And granted, there will be a sign that shows when you appraise it that it has been hyper trained. So there will be kind of like the hyper trained Hundo versus the OG. But like, still. So remember, if you disagree with me, say shut up in the comments. But what I think you should use your bottle caps on are the mythicals, because you only get like 1 or 2 if you're lucky. Sometimes there's like 4. I think there's like 15 shamans, I don't know. Or 2, like, you know, normal and shiny. You only get a couple shots, and then whatever stats those are, that's what you get. I mean, who knows what's in the future now that Scopely's taken over? We might get like Mew Calm Day or something. It's just like, hey, Mew's everywhere. But like, you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It's like, it's obviously we want a Shundo. I would love to get another Shundo Lunatone or a Shundo of one of my favorites I don't have yet. And it's difficult, maybe aggravating to go for them, to do a bunch of lucky trades and keep hunting for them. But like, we have chances it could happen. You know, does that make sense? What I know from my experience in these 9 years of Pokemon Go is that everything that felt rare and exclusive kind of ends up not becoming rare and exclusive at some point. Like, we're gonna get a free Galarian Bird here. Granted, it's been 3 years since the Galarian Birds have been released, but there is going to be a free one in research, and if you do luckily run into a shiny, that thing doesn't flee and you can kind of get it. So there's been easier ways to get that. Most of the rare costume Pokemon that I've gotten have come back, except for the Black Hat Pikachu. That one I haven't seen back in a while, but like, don't get me wrong, while it's cool, there are multiple chances. Like, other people could trade you the Lucky Hat Pikachu and it could turn into a Shundo. That's just a far-fetched situation, but the possibility isn't zero. And that's all I'm trying to get at right here. All jokes aside, obviously, use your golden bottle caps however you want on whatever Pokemon you want. I've thought about even using it on a Golden Go. I just wanted to present that information just in case the seriousness of the mythicals were not considered, because if I didn't have a Shundo Lunatone and I heard get a Shundo, I would have in my head been like, Lunatone, Lunatone, Lunatone immediately, and making that dream a reality, even though eventually I had gotten one. You know what I mean? There's a lot of good mythical candidates like Mew, for example, Shiny Mew. That Shiny is beautiful. Mew is the OG mythical Pokemon. I'm pretty sure it's good to Go Battle League, but what would I know? I'm not good at Go Battle League. Celebi's a beautiful one. Jirachi, the Wishmaker, a Shundo Jirachi would be great. Zygarde, you can get all the cells and get that. Zygarde is useful in Go Battle League, I know that much. Meltan is a good option, even though you can get it from the mystery box whenever it becomes shiny available during events. Still, it's good in Go Battle League. That would be a good one to use, I think. Kind of goes against everything I was saying, but like, you know. Shaman? Personally, I would not use the golden ball cap on Shaman. I feel like I've gotten like 5 of those. It's good where it is. Keldeo, I would wait for that shiny to come out, but you can't wait, so hey, use your bottle cap, right? You got a week to use it. And then there's Diancie, which can Mega. Mega Diancie would be a crazy one to have a hundo on. So I think personally, the mythicals are going to be what I use the Go bottle caps on. Gold bottle caps. Did I say Go bottle caps? What's the difference? Either way, it is super exciting that this is coming out, and I cannot wait to get my golden bottle cap for $20 and get myself a brand new Shundo. There's some people I've talked to who don't even have a Shundo yet. You're gonna get your first Shundo with this. This is awesome. And also to consider with the golden bottle cap, it can boost every stat, and there are apparently going to be silver bottle caps that boost one stat. So if you have like a 15, 15, 13 mythical, maybe don't use your gold one on that. Use it on one that can boost all the stats. And then when the silver one comes out, you know, just put that bad boy on the one lacking stat. But that's going to do it for today's video, though. Thank you all so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments what you guys are deciding to use your golden bottle cap on. Or if you're telling me to shut up, why not both? But thank you again for watching. Please hit that subscribe button because we're trying to get to some number. We're just, you know, whatever.